Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the stream, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video. And annyeonghaseyo, yarobun to all my Korean friends out there. Thank you for watching, thanks for joining me today. And what are we doing today? Well, we're doing more of this stuff right there. Working on these two guys. That's the Academy airplane and the Tamiya airplane. They're the F-4 Phantoms, both the B version and the D. And if you've been watching this series, you already know I'm doing a little switch up. The Tamiya version I'm going to turn into the ROKAF. That is the Royal Canadian, the Republic of Korea Air Force. Yes, so I've got the fuselage. We got that all put together last time on the Tamiya kit. So this has been glued together. It's all nice and solid. Got the engines in there. I should point out one thing I noticed after it was finished yesterday. I forgot to put the actual engine cones on the back, but they're in there now and they look nice. And yeah, you can see on this camera here that yeah, they look good in there. So that's that. So we're moving on. What we're going to be doing now, we're going back to the Academy kit. Today we're going to do a little bit of the engines on the Academy kit, and we're going to drill some holes in the wings on the Tamiya kit to get ready for all the armaments, and maybe put a few pieces together on this little section here that's going to get sandwiched in between the two wing halves. So let's get to work on this Academy one here. So we got our intakes, little tunnels created, got those done. So now we got to get the exhaust part. So we have this sprue right here. It was originally black, primered it all gray, and I've done a little bit of painting on the inside of these little tubes and on the cones and on the burners. This is just burnt metal color. Obviously I got it on the arrestor hook too. So let's get these assembled and get them put in. So change this up. Whoops, I gotta take these off first. That was funny. Let's put glasses on top of glasses. Okay, let's get these off the sprue here. This is our O tree, not our O face, it's our O tree. All around, cutting these off. Of course, are going inside the fuselage, so don't have to worry too much about how cleanly we take them off there. It's just the important thing is going to be to clean up the nubs nicely so that they fit, right? That's really the only thing. So what Academy has done is they've given me two options for exhaust nozzles. Short ones and long ones. Okay. So we got two. These ones obviously are short compared to these longer ones. And I actually don't know what the difference is. Why some have the short and some have the long. I don't know if it's earlier versions. I've seen in some cases where I guess they changed. Maybe when they changed somewhere throughout their production, they changed the engines in these planes. Earlier versions burnt a lot of black smoke, and later versions burnt a lot cleaner. That much I know. What I don't know is which version had the shorter or longer nozzle. That's the thing I don't know. So maybe F-4 Phantom experts out there for me and let me know which nozzle actually was used on which one. Just cleaning up my nubs because I do want these to fit. I don't care how cleanly I get them off of there. It's just a matter of making sure it's going to fit in the plane. So I want the nubs clean. Alright, let's change our camera angle so that you can see and get some glue. Here's our bottom fuselage wing with our landing gear in there. That's all glued in. Got these pieces all glued in nice and solid. And yeah, so that's just sitting off to the side waiting for the next step, right? So let's change the camera here. So we have, oh, hi Mega Boy, nice to see you again. So we've got our tubes and we've got to put our end caps and our nozzles on, and that's pretty straightforward. Nothing too special about that. Skinny end obviously is going to be for this. It's going to fit in just perfect like that, and because that would not work, that's wrong. We have a little notch here and a little tab, so that's where that's going to go. Maybe? No. We have a little notch right there, and that's where that's going to line up. There we go, perfect. Alright, so I don't want to load this thing with a whole bunch of glue, so I'm just going to use my thin. Let's line that up again. There we go. Just kind of hold it in place. Run that all around that. I don't want to load it on with glue and then I just pour a whole load on there. Just dump my load all over it. No tab or any alignment thing for the back. So it's just put it in, glue it down. There we go. Okay, so that's one. Let's line this one up. Hey, first try. Oh, hello. First try at failing. And now it stays. It was just saying, hey, I'm not ready yet. There we go. Leave that in there. Turn around. Get the other side. Okay. So that's those. Now what do we have to do? We have, looks like, I'm gonna have to wait because they're going into the bottom of the wings here. I don't have to wait. What am I talking about? This is all glued in and that's dry. So with these all glued in here, we can move on to this step and put the top halves of the wings on. D1 and D2, let's do that. Let's grab those. We'll put our little nozzles over here. D1 and D2. Find my D. That's these guys. Pre-painted the insides here white because I knew we're probably going to be we're going to be seeing it through there. Of course, there's absolutely zero detail, which I'd say is kind of becoming something that's I'm expecting from this kit now. Academy has kind of gone with a little bit of a minimalist detail on this kit as far as detail inside here. So it's not that much of a surprise to me at this point. So yeah. Take from that what you will. That's just the way it is, right? Another thing that they are not doing is giving me the option of having the wings up or down like the Tamiya kit. You know, these are Navy planes, and as such, they've got foldable wings, and this kit does not give me the option of having them folded. So this is going to go on here like this and line up, hopefully, on these little tabs. Sort of lines up. I might have to cut the nubs off so it doesn't. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's start gluing this as we go. That's going to aid in the, and I'm going to use my little clips. Got these little guys, they help out quite a bit when I want to hold stuff. That down, and now we'll do this edge. So it wants to lift up. See, if I let go, it does that. That sucks. Somehow the glue ran down and I got a fingerprint in the plastic. That sucks. So that's something I'm going to have to deal with later. I'll have to sand that once this is cured. Hopefully I can sand away that fingerprint. That sucks. The glue ran out of here and ran down to my finger while I was holding it. That pisses me off. Now I could squeeze this together and actually have it glued to the glued down to the walls of the landing gear bay. It really sucks. It's just really just a plain floor, no detail at all. I mean, in their defense, you don't really see much of that when the model's sitting on your table or shelf or whatever, the display. So it's not really, usually not really a big deal. I'm going to put this on here just to give it a bit of pressure to hold it while that cures. Let's do this side. Still, that sucks. That makes me mad. This one seems to line up pretty good. Let's grab a couple more clips. At least one more. Where are my clips? There we are. Get out of there. this together without freaking gluing my finger to the thing again. I wouldn't have minded so much if it had ran on the bottom side, but it ran on the top. And that just sucks. Not really holding very well here. Let's see if I can get that to hold. There's not a lot of structure on the inside, so when I put the clamp on, it just wants to squish it. So I want to hold it, but I don't want a whole lot of clamping force. So I'll let go for now and work on the back here. Put a clamp on this. I want this clamp. Right there. Perfect. Yeah, see, this is lifted up just a little bit. So just hold that for a moment. While I'm holding that, I'll go work on the inside here. Get that held down. There we go. Okay, so just going to hold this for a moment. Let that cure just for a moment or 5. While I'm holding that, we're going to look for another part here. So we need G14, which I already have off the sprue. I painted this earlier. It just needs to be silver on that underside there. Okay, it's calling out to be painted silver. So I'm going to need this, and I need Q9, this little wall. So I need to dig that up. So while I'm just holding this, I will find Q. Q, of course, happens to be the last tree that I was looking for, and let's do this. Q. Q, just like that. Okay, let's see. Let's let go. Yay, it's holding. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. So there's our upper halves put on. A little bit of a lip there and there, but whatever. That sucks. That just sucks. I'm going to try and hit that with some 4000 grit and see how that comes out. If I can get that smooth with this, then I'll be happy. It's better. I think I need to go down to 2000. I don't want to get rid of the detail on there. I might have to rescribe that panel line now. Yeah, this is getting rid of my fingerprint nicely. smoother. Jump up to 8,000. Yeah. Almost gone. I can't feel. It's funny, I can sort of see my fingerprint, but I can't feel it. Let's work on that just a little more. Almost as good as new. Panel line's just a little bit. I think it's fine. Didn't really damage it too much. Knock down the edge. Yeah, okay. We're good to go. All right, let's put this down. We need Q9, which I think is going to be this wall. Yep, right there. All right. Q9 has some nubs. Okay, so it's got these little half circles, not even half, quarter circles, and they are going to be facing the front, and they're going to go like this. And that's really, really crappy. Look at this. Even I glue that in, I got so much play. It's not actually being glued all the way across, it's just going to sit on these two little stumps in there. They show, it looks like I'm supposed to drill a hole first. Supposed to drill out that little hole first. Just seeing this in the instructions. So there's two holes, one here and one here. I guess that's going to be for the center fuel tank. So I need to do that before we go any further. Let's find a bit that's going to match. That one looks good. All right. Two holes, one right here. I'm putting my finger close to it where it's going to come through, but not right there, right? I don't want to bend the plastic, but I don't want to stab my finger either. Let's get rid of that burr a little bit here. Here we go. Okay, holes are drilled. that sits just like that. Now, see, I don't want to put this down where it's resting on the landing gear. So, now, we grab our intakes. And our intakes are going to go in this direction. Looks like they're only going to go one way. They don't really show me exactly the orientation, but it obviously needs to come out. Because they're not straight, right? They're not straight. So I'm going to guess it has to go like this. This part definitely goes to the outside. And it looks like it's going to line up right in this little notch. There's two little divots, but there's no guide pins or anything. So I guess it just sits like this and just sits in there. Like that, and that's it. So a little bit of glue on the bottom here, a little bit of glue here. And in theory, it just holds like that. Okay. Do the same on this side. A little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue here. And that's that. Is it straight up and down? Is it the exact spot it needs to be? I really don't know. Without guide pins or pegs or anything like that, it's all kind of some guesswork. They do want me to put the cockpit in now and slide this in right there. Oops. But again, no guide pins, no nothing. So I want to just let our intakes set for now. Use some of this in there just to make sure I've got the glue exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so let's move on to the engines. We're going to do this after this is cured, right? So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's go on to the engines. We've got our cones, and that notch I mentioned earlier, this notch right here, that looks like it's going to go in right here and right here. So there is an up and a down. What I don't know is, does it rest on top? It's going to have to, in order for that notch to fit in. Let me rotate this here. In order for the notch to go in that spot, trying to figure out if I can feel, yeah, right there. That's how it's going to sit, just like that. It's a little bit of play, I don't like that, but whatever. Okay. Okay, there's one. Where's my other one? Okay. And now we're going to put this piece on top. It's going to go, it's got a little lip going around the edge here. That's going to go towards the back. And this gets lined up with that piece in there. So this is going to be a bit tricky to get that lined up in there. But I got it. It's only mounting on the bottom. It's not actually touching the engines. Okay. It's not actually touching the engines. See that? So it's just glues at the very bottom right in there. Okay. So, and I have it crooked right now. Don't want crookedness. Should line up good. Supposed to line up good. Okay. My engines are in. My intakes are in. Everything looks like it's going to be fine. So, I'm going to put this aside. Okay. I'm going to put this aside and let that all cure before I try playing with it anymore. Let me find a spot I can set it down where it's going to be safe from being knocked and stuff. There we go. Okay. So let's move on to the Tamiya kit. The Tamiya kit, I got to do some drilling on the wings. The next step on the Academy, once I've got the cockpit base attached at the front. Next we're going to assemble the seats, but we'll see how much time I have. So switching to the Tamiya kit, our next step is to grab our wings and off of P15, 16, and 17. We'll grab those. Let's put all my Academy parts back in the box. Here's our P tree. So we're going to get this guy off of here. Let's just do this for now. Okay, I need that. And I need this. Okay. That way. Let's get these off of here. One. Two. A lot more nubs to cut off on this one. Tamiya really wanted to make sure this thing was not going to twist or warp. There we go. Okay. So, We got a whole bunch of holes to drill. And we can get rid of our little thing in the middle here. Yeah, see these pieces here, we had to install these on the Academy kit, right? We don't have to on the Tamiya, which is interesting that Academy had a detail that Tamiya didn't. That being said, I think the little panel line and rivet detail on the inside there is still better than the Academy kit. Just fixing my nubs here. Unfortunately, the more attachment points they have, see this is undergated here and here, so you got to make sure that you get rid of those, because yeah, I got them off the sprue, but you got to trim and clean these up on the inside, otherwise your wing halves will never go together. Of course, they kind of look like mounting tabs at first glance, but they're not. They're actually the undergated attachment points. And they're big too. There we go. A little bit of cleanup needed there. Feeling for bumps. Oh, that one's bad. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think we're cleaned up good enough on that. Move on to these. And that's nice and smooth. Smooth. This piece needs some cleaning. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue or not. If that's part of the... It's supposed to be like that. It might be supposed to be. It might be supposed to be. Tamiya did a good job. I can actually see the light coming through this panel. There's no way I can show you guys, but this is so thin that you can actually see the light through it. Okay, so we got to drill some holes. Now they're calling out all these different measurements: 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter. Again, on the other's wing, 0.8 millimeter, all that kind of thing. All I'm going to do is, so we want to do this one and this one. What I'm going to do, just to make my life a little easier, is I'm going to mark out where I'm supposed to drill these holes. So this one here and this one here. Okay. This one, this one. That's the only ones on the wing on that side. Now on the bottom half, I need to do this one here, this one here, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Here's for our center fuel tank. Right here, there's that one, and this one. Oh, up here and up here. Now in the Academy kit, they didn't tell me to drill out those holes. They got lines, the drill thing here pointing to the center only, not to these 4 little divots that they had. So that's interesting. That really is interesting. So I might not actually want to do that, because the Academy kit is designed as the Korean plane. The Tamiya one isn't. So it's very possible that the Korean F4s don't have something here that the American one does. So let me just fast forward in the book and see if there's anything that attaches in that spot on the underside of the fuselage before I drill them out. Yes, exactly. These little things here, these little nubs. So I don't know what these are. They don't give them a name. They're just two little fin things that attach under there, that I'm guessing the F-4D doesn't have, but the Tamiya kit is an F-4B. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to drill those out. I'm not going to drill those out. I'm going to leave them as they are. Okay? Alright, let's go back here. So, moving on to this side, it's the same thing. I want that one, and this one, and this one, and this guy up here, and these two. Alright. Now, rather than trying to measure the size, I just take my bit and I see, does it fit in that hole? So this bit is a little too big for that one. Too big for that. Well, it fits this one perfectly. So anywhere it's calling for a 1.2, this is the bit I'm going to use. So that's this guy here. Okay. And that means it's going to fit in this one too. Yep. Would be for this one here, but I'm not doing that. It's only calling for a 1 mil on these guys, although it almost fits. It's not quite. Well, that's the difference between the 0.2, right? Okay, and then this guy here. Okay, so that's those. Now this one, they actually call for a 1.5, an even bigger bit for here, but then only a 1 mil here, and yeah, I can feel it's too big. So something a little bigger. Yeah, that's the size for that. That's just about too big. So now I need something for the 1 mil. No. No. That'll fit. That'll fit that one, okay. Not quite. Not quite. All right, so I have my big one. Let's do that one first. Big one for the big one. Big hole, whoops. Big hole. this one is not going to be used on any of these. It's way too big. So this one's done. I think it's this one. It's too. Yeah, so I need a 1 mil. This one is just. This one is a 1 mil. Finding the one that really fits perfect is tricky, right? Fits perfect. Yeah, okay. It's just the smaller one now that I need to worry about. This takes a smaller one. So it's none of those. This takes a 1 mil here. And a 1 mil here. Supposed to do that, but I did it. Okay. Almost done. The ones that are calling for a 0.8, I'm just going to drill out to the 1 mil. The fact that it's 0.2 of a millimeter difference is really insignificant. 0.2 millimeter is nothing in the grand scheme of things. So just making sure we're getting through on all the holes here, get rid of all the little burrs. Okay, our wing has got our holes poked through. And we're ready to move on. Except this one. We got to do our little ones. Okay, that one's done. One more. Alright, we are done. Let's put my bits away. Put my bits away and we'll see what's next. Okay, so we have these all drilled out now. Now they want me to paint on the inside here. They want this painted white. So I'm going to grab some white. This is just TS27 flat white. That'll work. I have all this. I bought some X2 white as well. Not to be confused with XF2. XF2 is a flat white. X2 is just white. It's not gloss. It's not anything. So I believe they do make a gloss white also. So I'll do a couple of coats here. I will do another coat on it in a minute, give that a minute to dry. While that is drying, let's see what's on the next page. Next page we have some other parts of the landing gear. So, more interior parts for the landing gear. See if we find the screw that they are on. This one here, we're on the A tree. We want A1, which is this big guy. Which I already took the liberty of spraying some paint on it. We need A10. Which I already sprayed. White. This guy here. But now we need some P's. P parts. We need our P parts. So let's find the P tree. N, R, B, C, P. Here's our P tree. These are not white, so I need 5, 6, 13, and 14. It looks like I'm going to need 11 and 12 also, so I'm going to have to spray these and these. So I got a feeling I'm going to be spraying a few of these parts white. So let's just do that. This is one coat of the white and how it looks. Of course, that camera, it looks okay, but I'll show you. Only one coat is not enough. Okay, second coat done on that. This is now, it's dry enough for its second coat, so let's do that. Okay, 2 coats done on that. I only did 1 coat on here, so let's do a second, since I have to anyway, since I got the paint out. Of course, with all the weathering and everything that's going to be done on that, it's going to take time anyway. Doing a second coat to make it really white is kind of it's not going to work because it doesn't look all that great anyway, right? All the weathering and so you've got to do the black panel liner that makes it all look kind of aged and weathered, and then it you know, all this nice bright white paint kind of gets lost. I think this inside here is supposed to be white. Do they call it out on this other page? No, because it's flipped over. Just, if I'm supposed to paint it white, I want to know now because I've got it ready and I want to paint it. So I want to be preemptive in that. I know the inside of the actual flaps get painted red because that's the air brake. So let's find where we install the air brakes. Here we are. So the underside of the air brakes, they get painted red. Of course, I just painted them white, but that's fine. Do red over top, they'll be nice bright red. But what about the inside of them? Yes, see, they're supposed to be white. They are supposed to be white. So, that being said, this whole underside is white. Right? The whole underside of the plane gets painted white. But that's not true. If you look at this picture, it's not. I mean, it might be, we'll get to that, but it's a camouflage pattern. So I'm going to paint that white now. I'm just going to hit it with some white right now. Before we get anything else in there, I'm getting that white. There. Okay. Before I forget, I need to do a second coat on our little bits over here. Alright, so with those painted white, unfortunately I have to get going again, and so I can't get any of this assembled. That's still got to dry, so I'm not dealing with these, not dealing with that. That's all got to dry. So next time we're going to assemble the inside of our main landing gear bay with our cross members, airplanes taking off in the background. That's what we're going to be doing next time, okay? But this is where we're going to leave it for today, guys. In the meantime, I will slide this into this part of the fuselage. I still want to give this a good, I don't know, half an hour or so to cure before I slide this in there and actually get that locked in. Right? Okay? That's what that needs to be done there. That's what that needs to be done? Yeah, I can speak. I know English. But yeah, so next time we're going to work on the Tamiya main landing gear bay and get that all assembled and put in there, and get our two halves, the other halves of the wings put on. That's going to be next time. Alright? So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for coming out. Thank you for all the support. That is really awesome. Leave comments down below. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff. If you don't, if you like the comparisons of the two kits, if that's something you'd like to see in the future, see more of, let me know. If you do like it, hit that like button. I know that something like 86% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to subscribe. Subscription is free. So do it. Just do it. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it like that for today, and we'll see you all in the next one.